Philly's favorite 100.7 FM. Welcome to another Real Talk with the Real Estate Diva, Desarrie McDuffie. Today, as always, we have a great show in store with a special guest who will be talking about things going on in the community and some things that may be changing in the community. So stay tuned. We got a good one in store. Let's go.
This is your girl, Desarrie Real Estate Diva McDuffie, and you are here for another episode of Real Talk with the Real Estate Diva. And today I have a wonderful show for you. We have the infamous Mr. Anton Moore of Unity in the Community,
yes,
doing
indeed.
Great work in our community,
yes,
right?
Indeed. She a rapper now.
Look at
Y'all
that.
know I can spit bars.
You spit bars. Go ahead.
I ain't even going to try. I was about to try to, I'm not going to do it.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to embarrass myself.
We can turn you up, put a beat on.
All right, see, I was about to. I'm not going to do it. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. I got a little distracted, but yes, we are here with Mr. Anton Moore, and I have him here because he is doing some wonderful things in our community, and he actually just took children on
We took a 10-city tour in 7 days.
10 city tour in 7 days. With how many children?
We had 15.
15 boys and girls?
Young boys.
Young boys.
Yep.
Like, that's major.
Yeah, it was fun. They was able to see outside the city, experience things. The cities that we went to was Baltimore, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Kentucky, Indianapolis, and Memphis.
Ooh. I'm impressed at the fact that you can just sit there and
we drove.
And y'all drove. You drove?
I drove and two other people.
Wow.
Wasn't no joke.
Wow.
Man.
I can only imagine.
I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah. What made you do that?
Just giving them an opportunity to see the world and see, outside of Philadelphia and being able to visit the Lorraine Motel where Dr. King was killed
Yes.
at. Going to the Motown Museum, going to Indianapolis, Chicago. I kind of learned some things. We actually went to Gary, Indiana, where Michael Jackson grew up at. Went to the house and we talked to the neighbors and took pictures in front of there. And then we was able to take a ride through Gary, Indiana, and see how dilapidated it was. And it was messed up, but it opened a lot of their eyes. Just imagine you being a young man. Every day for the next week, you wake up in another city, doing different things, meeting community members, going to the famous restaurants in those cities. We wanted to create the opportunity for them so that they can take that back to their peers and their friends, just the neighborhood in general, and say, look, I have friends here. We went there and just talk about the experiences. Life is about experiences.
It is. It really is. It really is. I remember, and I mentioned it on the show before, that my mother always said to me when we were growing up, I grew up in Point Breeze, South Philly, right? And she always said to me, the world is bigger than Point Breeze. Don't look at this as being weird, even though I'm still there, right? Now, but my world has definitely expanded beyond Point Breeze. I choose to still live in South Philadelphia, and that definitely, her saying that to me, definitely helped me to want to explore further in life. And she also said, you choose the world that you live in.
That's indeed.
There's many different worlds out here. You choose the world that you live in. You can be out here on drugs. You could be out here selling drugs. You could be out here prostituting. You could be out here doing all kinds of things.
It's about choices.
So, you choose the world that you live in. So
that's deep.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for,
no problem.
exposing our kids.
That's what it's all about. And they come from our Carpentry Academy class. We teach these kids carpentry every week, and they know how to put floors down, paint, do electricity work, all those different things.
Yeah, good stuff. So you're teaching them life skills. Yes.
And it's not so much about the carpentry, but we want to teach them brotherhood.
Yeah.
A lot of the kids in these neighborhoods where you see the violence going on at, they don't know one another. So it's our job to teach them things and guide them in the right direction.
Well, let me ask you this. Being a native of South Philadelphia, right? How did you even get into doing this? Like, tell us a little bit about your background.
So my background, I grew up in Tasker Home Projects. Ended up going into radio into high school. I interned with one of my mentors named Lorraine Morrow.
Yes.
She taught me a lot of the landscape of community. And at the age of 16, I was interning. I wanted to get into the community field. So before I did that, I worked at Power 99. Then I went off to New York and worked at BET Music Channel. And during that time is when I got into the community work at the age at the age of 20 and say, yo, I really want to do this. And that's when I started Unity in the community.
Oh, really? And you've been going at it since?
Ever since. Ooh, that's about 17, 18 years. I'm 37 now.
Wow, you're young. You're a young boy doing big things.
Trying to, but yeah, you think about it, you're like, wow. It goes a long way, but I think the commitment that comes along with it is the dedication behind it.
Yes.
Wanting to see young people do good. You know what I mean? And it's tough. And the world we live in is dominated by social media, but it's up to us, to project that positive image and stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of, positive image, we right now the city is going through something, with the loitering and not loitering, looting, and all of that in wake of this situation, right, where the young man was murdered, and the charges were dropped against the police officers. So, I mean, what is your suggestion to sort of like change this narrative with what's happening with our children and the excitement of just going out here and doing wrong and,
Parents have to step up. The village must step up, but the parents must allow the village to step up because when you see these kids doing these things, ask yourself a question. What are kids doing out 11, 12, 1 o'clock at night in the school tomorrow? You know what I mean? So we don't have a community problem. We have a parenting problem.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And people say Philadelphia is just a bad city. No, it's the people in it that makes the city. You get what I'm saying? So looking at it, we got to get more male role models to step up to the plate because a lot of these young people don't have males at home. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a charge to us men to take a young man under their wings and show them the right way. It's going to be a charge to the women in the city to take a young lady under their wings and show them the right way. Because I look at it, each one teach one. The more we get involved, the more we put our hands on it, the more we become dedicated to wanting to see the lives of our young people change, we have to be involved. We can't wait for the next person to come. Yeah. It starts with us. People always want to talk about what can they do in their neighborhood. Walk out your door and look left and right. You don't have to go down Center City and Raleigh and March. No, you can do that right in your neighborhood. It's a kid, I promise you, on your block that need guidance, that needs help. You can step up and do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the key things that you mentioned, though, is that parents need to allow the community to step up and be a village, right? Because so often you call yourself trying to correct or a child or take them under your wing, and the parents will say, don't say that to my child. Don't correct my child. That's my child. Whereas I know when I was younger, I had Miss Mildred across the street, Miss Raleigh down the street, and if I did anything wrong, any of them were able to chastise and correct me, and my mother was okay with it. But today, it's just different. So what do you think created that change
Social media.
mindset? Okay.
Social media has become... people like that instant gratification. They love the idea of, let me do something on social media and hope I go viral. Viral to me is cancer because people get motivated by that. And they shouldn't be getting motivated by that because it's something negative. Who wants to see kids do something stupid and go to jail? You know what I mean? But social media has become a full-time job for some people, and it has become a drug. And with it become a drug, people think they find the need to want to entertain. And the need to want to entertain may be hurting somebody or doing something crazy. So looking at that in hindsight is that a lot of our kids are being raised through social media and not at home. We're the days when the parent came home and said, let's do your homework. Or you go to church or your masjid or whatever you serve. Those
and to make the children go with you. I hate to say it, but and this is my opinion. I don't have children, so I can't say but so much. Neither. So people say you don't even have children. I get that. I have nieces and nephews and all of that, but no, I don't have children. But I know how I was raised, right? Yeah. So I was raised whereas I had to go to church. Or my mother at the time when I was younger, she used to go to the Kingdom Hall. So I had to go with her. I had no option. I had to go. But I think that gave me some level of a foundation, and as I got older, I get, I can choose which way I want to go, but it gave you some level of a moral foundation, right?
So Saturday, the Kingdom Hall is Jehovah's Witness? Jehovah's
Witness.
So you was not going to do a Saturday morning?
I was. Yes, I was.
You ready for Jehovah's return? Yes. You peek out the door and be like, oh.
Yes, I was.
They start calling your name. Right, you did?
Yes.
That's good, though. That's
yes,
good.
yes. But that was the foundation. We're no longer, at the Kingdom Hall, but. It gave you that foundation, so that you have some level of accountability to a higher power, whether it is, kingdom at the church, Jehovah, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, whoever. And I'm on a Christian station saying this, but we all need that foundation, right? At this point, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We all need that. It's important, and we have to continue to push that. And no matter what God you serve, you're still a human being. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean? And I think the more we learn that, the better we operate. Because I don't believe in separation. You know what I mean? I believe in giving people fair opportunity to be who they are and respect who they serve.
Absolutely. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, right, is obviously this is a real estate show, right? So I remember when you and I first, I don't think we even met yet. I think this was on social media.
What they
call it, the Facebook bully or whatever. I was yelling at him on Facebook or I don't know, Instagram, one of them. And we had a discussion about housing in our community because both being from South Philadelphia, we've witnessed our community change greatly. Some for the good and some for the bad. Speaking about community, I miss the community that we had. Where we all knew everyone and kids outside playing and. Like you said, the parents and the grandparents and the neighbors, all getting together to raise the children, that type of thing. We don't have that anymore. But it's the other part of it that we don't have either, right? The negative things that was happening in our community. So I don't miss that part. But in wake of all of the negative things that was happening in our community, our community began to deteriorate, right? And this is, countrywide, the drug epidemic and all of those things. So, we can get into redlining and all of those things that happen to stop us from being able to rebuild our community. But one of the things that's important is that we begin to take pride in our community again, right? And although I'm a real estate agent and I'm supposed to be selling properties, money. But I'm an advocate for us keeping the properties that we have in our communities, if we can, right? I'm not a huge supporter of, just selling our properties to get $1. And then we move somewhere else and we take that money. We talk about other people taking money out of our communities. We take money out of our community.
It's like volunteering it over.
Yeah, volunteering it over. Yeah. And then when people, become successful, like I said, I choose to live in South Philadelphia. I don't have to live in South Philadelphia. I choose to live there. This is my family's from. I love to be able to walk around the corner to my auntie house or to my mama house and all of these type of things. When so many of us get to a certain level, we leave our community. Leaving those examples of success, behind for the children to see. So I said all of that to say, in our conversation, we were talking about affordable housing, which is extremely needed in our community, right? And some of the things that we can do to create affordable housing ourselves, and I was watching a social media influencer this morning, and he was talking about not like leveraging all of your real estate and all of these things and creating affordable rents ourselves. In our community, not just trying to get the top dollar. So many of us are just chasing that dollar.
Chasing that dollar and that money.
But we help support, or encourage that behavior, in our community. What are your thoughts about it?
You said it best. People don't want developers selling that top dollar, but when they really sell their property, and this is your words, Des, they want top dollar. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways. But I will say it needs to be a balanced approach. And a lot of times, it ain't good to sell. Keep that property in your family, like Dad said. Rent it out. So you can always have it. I think you see a lot of other races gain wealth. They gain generational wealth. You know what I mean? They pass down properties. When they leave this world, they leaving them something. Only thing when some of our folks died, they leave them a fish fry and probably a bill to go to the cemetery or the funeral home.
Yeah.
And that's not good because now that person might have a child. So looking at that in hindsight, there needs to be a balanced approach of what we call development. But in addition to that, we got to start creating generational wealth where we leave our family things.
Exactly.
And if a mother passed away, she leave him a property or two. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And he's able to build on that and become successful and gain wealth in the process.
Absolutely, so that we don't have to, start from square one.
Square one.
Like so many of us, unfortunately, do. So we have these assets in our community, and we don't have to sell them off to developers at all. And, so many people say, well, the taxes are increasing, but there are programs that will help you to reduce your tax.
I take advantage of it.
Exactly. There are, as far as the house having to be renovated or rehabbed.
They just came up with a grant for that.
Yes,
the state.
exactly.
Up to $50,000, you can fix up your property.
Exactly. And Catherine Gilmore was on here talking about it a few months ago. And that's the thing. We have to be willing to open our ears and take in this information. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, be stuck on the old. So many of us are stuck on the old, and like, well, it's nothing I can do. No, listen to the resource. Listen to people tell you about the resources that are available to you so that we can evolve as a people within our community.
I agree 100%. But like I said, we have to educate ourselves. We got to stop thinking somebody's going to fall out of the sky and say, well, hey, this is what you need to do. No, you got to educate yourself.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that you definitely do.
Trying to educate people. Trying to wake them up to the things that's going on and what they see. And even with judicial candidates and stuff like that, bringing them to the neighborhood. A lot of times people bypass that, but judges control the world.
Yes.
As you can see, President Biden put in place, he wanted to deal with student loans.
Right.
Supreme Court brought the hammer down and say, not today. And that's the end all be all because Supreme Court is the law of the land. You know what I mean? That's it. You got to educate yourself on what's going on. We was talking about the civil unrest. It was the judge who made that decision.
Yes.
District attorney played the role in prosecuting the case, but the judge ultimately made the decision, I'm not going to charge him with anything.
So that goes to why, we do need to get out there and vote, right? So many people think that their vote doesn't count. It doesn't matter, but it does. It definitely does. It does matter.
It matters when it appeals to them. Because I get a lot of brothers who call me, can you write me a letter? Hopefully the judge, can have some leniency on me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is what we were talking about before, which is the stadium building. So what are your thoughts about that? The stadium.
Sixers should build the stadium. I think that it creates jobs, economic opportunities. It'll help revive the fashion district and the gallery area that's all down there. And if you go to other cities, other big cities, they have stadiums downtown because they know that in order to have a thriving corridor, you need things that draw you in. That's why people, when they go to Gucci, Louis, they got to go out King of Prussia because stores like that don't want to come downtown because they look and say, well, what are we coming down here for? Not to just open up and not sell anything. So you have to draw those things in. It's the downtown district.
So you don't think that without the luxury stores, or without the casino, well, you said the stadium will bring a casino and all of those are things, but without that, you don't think that the luxury stores will come into Center City?
No, because you got other stores closing down. If they can't afford them other stores, they definitely can't afford Gucci and Louis and all those stores, them high-end stores. So eventually, because here's the problem. People that come into Philadelphia, they sneak in on expressways coming from Delaware and Wells Fargo, New Jersey, enjoy stuff at the stadium, pull right back out, and they go back home. Now, other cities, New York said you're going to pay. You're going to pay that toll. That's the first thing. Second thing, you're going to pay for parking. You might have to get a hotel, and you're going to get something to eat. And of course, you're going to pay to park down there. That's how the city gets money. Right now, you don't have to go down to that downtown area. They come pay the park, toll, and get out of here.
So what's going to happen with the stadium that's
It's going to stay there because of the flyers, and they had other events there too as well.
Okay. So I'm still, because I'm still neutral regarding,
If we want to build up Philadelphia to be a first class city where people want to come here, you're going to have to attract those things. You're gonna have to because if stores continue to go out, if stores continue to go out of business down there, it's going to be a dead area. You can't have a downtown area look bad.
Yeah,
and they know that.
And
you
the
know
stadium
what I mean?
is the cure all.
Yeah, because you different events are coming there. If you go say Jay-Z performing down there at a sold out show, we get on that train and we going down there. Yeah. Before we go down there, we ain't driving, but we gonna get something to eat. We might go buy some clothes, go visit those stores, the restaurants. You go into the restaurants, then you go watch the concert.
That's true.
And afterwards, you might get a nightclub down there. You might get a casino. Then if all those people coming in to enjoy those things, then you get people from out of town to say, oh, I'm going down to the downtown area. I'm going to stay at night, going to the casino, going to the stores. You need to. America is a business as well. You have to run it. Philadelphia is a business. You have to run it like a business. If you're not getting, it's like you. If you're not getting the customers, paying customers to come in, you got to ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? And you have to go visit other cities and figure out. Madison Square Garden is smack dab in the middle of New York. Everything is around it. You go to the Berkeley Center in Brooklyn. Everything's around it. You go to United Center in Chicago. You go to Capital One Arena in D.C. The city surrounds it. It's thriving. You have to look at it like it's a business now. And people that are selfish should say, oh, it's just too much traffic. It's traffic everywhere in Philadelphia.
You calling me selfish?
No.
Because that's what I said. I said, oh, my God, it was traffic.
But it's traffic. It's traffic everywhere.
It is.
Like, no matter where you go to L.A., the Staples Center is smack dab in the middle of L.A. because they want to draw those people in. Got to keep it going. You got to create jobs because now you look at it like this. If they start to close them stores, people lose jobs. If people are losing jobs, those businesses can't pay that business tax. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You lose all those economic things. Then now the downtown area is not drawing people in. The hotel industry is not getting people, so they're closing down. You have a dead downtown corridor. You have to build it up. It's forward thinking. To think that it's going to sell, let's be honest. If you get more people down there, more people want to go to Chinatown and say, I want to try Chinatown. What's the real reason why you don't want it? It's because you think you can't be doing all this business now because no one is going down there. I don't remember the last time I went down there.
No,
I talked to my other friends, we don't go down there. But if you bring exciting things down there that make us want to come, we'll go. But right now, it's just not there. So we have to think about the future and not the present. Traffic is going to be there anywhere you go. You go to Atlanta, their stadium is smack dab down the middle. Houston, smack dab. Philadelphia is the only city that's sitting there saying, should we do it? We can't continue to behind, to play from behind. We have to be forward thinking and start doing the things that these other cities are doing that's thriving. We're being left behind. We don't want to be there. You know, we can't call ourselves a first class city and we're not doing things to make us a first class city. We have to start creating that atmosphere. And some tough decisions are going to have to be made. But it's needed decisions to keep that area going. That area's been falling for 10, 15 years.
It has. It definitely has. So just as a person that lives, not too far from Center City, right? The impact that all of that's going to have on my community, right? And other neighborhoods surrounding Center City. And we talk about, again, to take it back to affordable housing and all of that. So that's basically going to drive up the cost of living in South Philadelphia, in North Central Philadelphia, and other areas as well. So Philadelphia, the hub of Philadelphia, this is the way I see it, is going to become less affordable unless we figure out another way to make it affordable.
Balance it out.
Balance it out, as you stated. And I don't see that plan happening yet.
They're talking about putting affordable housing within that district.
But it's
their affordable is not our affordable.
Yeah.
But
it's not that many. It isn't
because
many houses.
You're looking at it. You're looking at it saying, it's like either you're gonna do it or you're not.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, the area continues to fall, then you see people that are on drugs laying around and all that makes you don't want to come there. You know what I mean? Then the other side of it too is look at the jobs it's going to create that's going inside that building. It's people that need work. You know, the workforce that need work. There are businesses. They said about 50% of the businesses are going to be able to go inside that building. We need our minority business. We need our businesses to be inside of there. We want to be a part of the game now. You know what I mean? So,
is there going to be opportunities or grants made available for minority businesses?
Yes, that's what they're doing. They want to put minority businesses in this building.
Okay.
So there's so many opportunities. I believe the pros outweigh the cons, and I think it's just something that we have to do in a forward-thinking world. You know what I mean?
Sports person. You just want to go downtown and watch them.
Not so much, but you go to Wells Fargo, right? And you walk to your car, you look around, there's really nothing around. You're like,
yeah,
we going home.
Yeah, that's true.
You look around, be like, you see a bunch of lots, and you're like, this doesn't even look fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may want to come out the arena and say, let me go, well, it's a casino down there, but let me go to this restaurant and eat. Let me go to this casino. Let me hang out.
You can go to Live. You can go to...
Yeah, but it's so...
It is. You're right. It's not exciting. It's not
like... You have to walk far to get on the train if you what's the name. So you're kind of stuck there. Downtown, it's thriving. It's everywhere. There's a train right there. There's a cab you can call. All those different things. You got to build up. Just like you had, because I'm big on building up neighborhoods first. You had to build up neighborhoods first. That's the first
thing. That's my thing, though. Yeah.
Let's deal with the neighborhoods.
Yes.
And we can do two things at once. But let's build up that downtown area. Let's get those laborers who are minorities, a lot of minorities in the labor force, like 332 and all those different places, to start building up that stuff. People working inside the stadium, businesses working inside the stadium. I think there's room for everybody. But we can't allow one group of people to dictate to other people. You know, when we was going through gentrification in South Philly, not too many people stood up and said, well, that's not right. They just sat back and laughed and said, you're on your own.
Yes.
Now, what they say, it ain't fun when a rabbit has the gun. You know what I mean? And now they're looking like, oh, they trying to displace us. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we have to look at it from an economic standpoint. What is going to make sense in the long term to keep Philadelphia a top-tier city, but also, and I'll say this again and I'll stress this enough, build up the communities as well.
Yeah. Makes sense, I guess. Reluctantly. You see my face, I'm like, well, they can't see my face, but I'm like,
She agree.
I mean, I do agree. I just don't want...
Sell some houses, too.
Sell some houses down there. I don't mind selling the houses, but I mean, I still, again, you know, I just hate to see people that are just, you know, displaced. You know. And listen, that's Chinatown. I hardly go to Chinatown. You're right. No one in when our community was changing was coming down.
No one wanted to protest or stand with us. And now it's like, oh, can we have y'all stand with us? It's like, y'all gonna feel the heat just like we had to feel the heat.
Yeah.
And a lot of us weathered the storm, but you know.
This has been happening generation after generation, to be honest with you. I mean, our community wasn't displaced all at like one time, like their community is going to be, but it happened to us before.
But they're not going to be setting up the stadium in Chinatown. It's going to be like a couple blocks away. That's the thing. So they're going to make money too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You know what I mean? They're going to make money too. Yeah. But a lot of them are not used to change, so they want to keep it the same.
Yeah. Well, change is inevitable, right?
That part, yep.
Change is inevitable. There's nothing we can do about it.
So get ready, Des.
Get ready for the stadium downtown.
For the stadium. Get ready for Sherelle Parker.
Listen, I'm all for Sherelle Parker.
Good woman.
Yes.
Good woman. Good, awesome.
I'm all for her.
Awesome person. Excited for her administration. Excited for the things she's working on that's coming down the pipeline. I'm excited.
Yeah. And what are some of the things that you're aware of that she's working on? You don't want to talk about her campaign?
I signed the NDA.
Of course, okay.
So I can't talk about it.
It's exciting.
It's exciting. She's going to do a lot of great things, and I'm very happy for her. I supported her 2.5 years ago when she came down to South Philly. She said, I want to meet with you. And me, Oberah, Canodal, we all sat down at Penrose Diner. She's like, I'm running for mayor. Are you going to support me? Without hearing anybody, I said, I'm 100% down. Because I knew her from Mount Airy, because I kind of grew up there too. Some summers up there. And I said, I'm in. From there, we was rocking and rolling and game planning and meeting.
Nice.
And now to see her actually win, and then on the night of her, not the night of her campaign victory, but a week later, she held a big victory, and she was like, oh, make sure you don't leave because we're doing something on stage. And I'm like, oh, no problem. And I'm like, let me just stand up here on stage. She called me out on stage and was like, let me tell y'all something. And I'm like a little kid, like, oh, my God. She was going on for like 2 or 3 minutes, and I was just like a shy kid who wanted to run off stage and hide behind stage. But it was a good film. Like, great discussions and some great things that come into the city of Philadelphia.
Really?
And I'm very, very excited and proud of her.
What are your thoughts about our police commissioner?
Shouts out to Danielle Outlaw, too. You know what I mean? A lot of times we don't give African-American women enough credit. She came from another city to do a job. And the job is not easy because how does a person stop someone from picking up a gun and shooting someone?
Yeah.
I believe she didn't play the right game, and she's gone now. You know what I mean?
When you say the right game, what do you mean?
I just think she had a mark on her back being the first African-American woman leading a police department. You know, it wasn't too fond of that. Yeah. So looking at that, I said she already has a stripe. And she was trying to get adjusted to Philadelphia to get to know people, but people wouldn't give her a chance. You get what I'm saying? But I tell people this, especially people of color, be careful of what you do because your daughter may be sitting in that seat one day and someone may treat her the same way. Be careful that your daughter goes to another city and get a job and people turn against her and you say, well, why they won't give my daughter a chance? As they say, that boomerang comes around, goes around. What you throw out, come right back.
Yeah, and that's my concern about Sherelle Parker because I know she's going to have a tough time. You know, there's so many people who are not going to want to see her succeed, and they're going to put up these roadblocks. But she's a tough lady. You know, I mean, I don't know her personally,
She'll
but
tell you exactly how it is. She like your church aunt. You know what I mean? You talking in church, and she's sitting on the pulpit, and she see you.
Give you that look.
She's like, come here real quick. How you doing? If you ever talk that much, that's her.
Wow, really?
We just had her in South Philly on Monday.
I saw that. Yeah.
And she came down my ward on the ward leader of 48th ward as well. And we had the different people come down, DJ Diamond Cuts, Councilman Johnson, watching the Eagles game, talking a little politics, just having fun.
Yeah, I started to go, but it was raining.
Should have came.
I know, but it was raining. I don't like
we
the
had
rain.
about good 200 people there.
Yeah, I saw it. I was watching, like, people posted videos and everything.
It felt good, but just, you know, trying to have fun.
Yeah, trying to have fun. Well, it seems like with all the work you do in the community, you certainly have fun doing it, too.
Yeah.
You know, you do it with a smile.
Smile, right? Some days ain't always like that.
Yeah. That's true. That's in anything, though, right?
Yeah.
In anything, you
take
know,
everything
you do.
and strive.
Yeah, I mean, I love my job. But it's some days where I'm like, these people done wore me out.
Yeah, they do.
I'm ready to quit. Like, I don't want to do none of this anymore.
You feel it some days, but
yeah, for sure. And one of the other things I would say about you is, this is just my opinion. You don't do it for the accolades. You know, you don't do it for the photo ops and all of those things. You know,
17 years takes commitment and dedication. And when you say commitment and dedication, you don't do something for 17 years if you don't love it.
Yes.
There has to be some type of love there that you take in and say, you know, makes you want to do it every day. Because sometimes dealing with our people, you say, you know what, this is the last year. And I'm done.
1,000%.
But you keep going and you keep pushing and you keep believing and making it.
And you're making a change.
Yeah, making a change. Working with young people and doing what we need to do is what it's all about.
Yeah, especially.
Like there's people calling you from hitting numbers and stuff.
People call you from hitting.
Oh, man.
For what? They
might try to track you down. Hey, I want to talk to you about this thing. And you be like, who is this? And sometimes I be talking to people I don't even know who I'm talking to. They're like, yeah, you get my email? Yeah, I got your email.
Well, you're an important person, so you know people trying to get at you. I mean, your phone been buzzing since you've been sitting here. Yeah, you're an important guy. You know.
I had 2 phones. I don't even know what the other phone is. I gotta really go home and find it. Look in the office, but it's fun.
Well, get ready. So, I mean, I know you're going to do bigger things. So, what's next?
Things are coming. Things
are coming?
Things are
Well,
coming.
all right, so let's start with this. What's next for unity in the community?
We're hosting a graduation for our young people next month.
Okay.
We have a special guest come down there. It's going to be nice, decorated food. That's going to be a beautiful event. We're getting ready for the election. We're running a program here in Philly and all throughout Virginia. So between now and election day, I'll be traveling to Virginia Beach, Hampton, Virginia, Richmond. So I'll be in and out of those small cities, doing some election stuff and doing it up here as well. We're going
For the presidential election?
Some congressional elections.
Okay,
So
okay.
we got funders from out San Francisco, Silicon
Nice.
Valley that invested in us and said, hey, we wanted to do X, Y, Z. Then we're going to have a holiday party and in December that we're going to do. Me and Jordan is teaming up doing some mentoring stuff with young kids.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this, without getting into too much details, come January, you just never know what might happen.
Okay. Well, listen, my background is in social services. I was a social worker for 10 years.
Okay.
So if you guys need a mentor for your young ladies,
We just deal with the young guys.
Right.
Well, as young ladies need a...
We're ready for the women to spearhead that.
I see. Okay. I don't have time to do that right now.
The women spearhead that.
The women's way. Well, listen, here's the thing. And this is again my opinion. It starts with the men.
I agree.
It starts with the men. It starts with these young men coming up. And, I'm thankful for the men such as yourself who are stepping up and grabbing these young men, because so many of them grew up without fathers.
A lot of them grew up without fathers.
Positive role models. And, and it's needed.
Yep,
It's evident that our community, because I've had many debates with people, with men especially, and, when you say it starts with the men, they don't believe that. They want to throw it back with the woman. And I'm like,
Can't start with the woman. You gotta start with
the man is the head. This is me. The man is the head. That's the way God ordained it. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just the way it is. So the man is the head. So it has to start with him.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
Yeah. I think the men such as yourself who's stepping up and changing that within our community. Because my mother, she told me she ran into you or she heard something.
No, me and her was talking. We had like a 20-minute conversation.
Yeah.
On Dorn Street, right off of, what is that? Federal.
Oh,
She was walking a dog, I think.
Mimi, she's walking.
Oh, that's what it was. We just started talking. It was near election. I said, vote for Sherelle.
She's telling you right now, come get those darn tools.
We gonna work it out. I promise you. we gonna work it out. I promise you.
Mama, you hear them?
I'm gonna come get them tools. I promise.
They all in her basement and in that back room. She's like, come get them tools out her house, because she really was saving them, for you guys, because she does want to support what you got, what you're doing. They're my stepfather's tools, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not going to hold you any. Oh, I did want to ask you, what's next for you personally?
That's what I said.
Election? Are you going to run for anything?
Man, I just say stay tuned in January.
He's going to keep it a secret.
There's a lot of things that's going to happen, and yeah.
Look, he's smiling
working
though,
on it,
so he
right?
got
Excited.
something going on.
Got a lot of things that's in the works right now. Let's just say this, and I was looking at Philly's favorite. It's good to have favor and it's good to have options. And I have options, and I'm just sitting back, and whatever I decide to do is something that I want to do.
You're not leaving Philadelphia, are you?
You just never know.
Oh
leave it
man,
open-ended.
come on, we need you here. I don't know why that just popped in my brain.
You just never know.
We need you here.
You never know what God has in store. Because I come
Right.
from
Yeah.
film too. Like I do
okay.
documentaries and stuff like that, working on TV.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
you never know what God has in store for you. But
Yeah,
you just
let them guide you.
January is gonna be a good month. I'm excited. You ever just wake up excited about life? Like, well, I
Right.
get to do this. I get to do that. You don't answer to nobody but yourself and God. You know what I mean?
God.
So you just never know.
It must be something big in January,
Right.
because he
I'm-
over
you
here
can't say-
smiling.
right?
I'm looking forward to a lot of things. You know what I mean? I'm unpacking things, putting things on the table, and saying, this look nice, that look nice, that look nice. Let me see what I want to do. Not too many people have those opportunities.
Those options.
true, yeah.
I have options. So I have those options, and I'm just, you know, I think by Christmas, I know
Which
What the move is.
which
you wanna
direction
go?
I'm gonna go into.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
and I'm gonna be excited. And whatever I do, I'm gonna love it.
All right, just don't abandon us here.
Oh no, I'm
in
not.
South Philly,
I love
you
South
know.
Philly. South Philly is my first love. But
Yeah.
we're gonna do something.
But we know you gotta grow. We know
Yeah,
you
you
have to
have
grow.
to.
You can't stay
Yeah,
stuck,
can't stay stuck.
stagnant.
It's a
Yeah.
good time. So,
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
good time to
Excited.
just be alive.
Yeah.
Okay, so if anyone wanted to, I guess, make a donation or connect with your organization,
They can log onto our website, unityinthecommunity215.com. Click on the donate link and support the work that we're doing.
okay, good stuff, good stuff. Anything else? Any other words of encouragement?
Words of encouragement. Look, if you have a passion or a drive, or if it's something you love to do, I say have patience and continue to do it, because what you do today may pay you tomorrow. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
That's true. I can honestly attest to that. You know, being a little South girl, Philly girl myself. You know, just staying focused and moving forward. And what you do today will pay you tomorrow. Pay you tomorrow for sure. All right, y'all. So this has been another episode of Real Talk with the Real Estate Diva. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to reach out to me, I can be reached at 267-238-2877. Again, that's 267-238-2877. That's my office line. Please do not leave or send a text message. Just leave a message and I'll get back to you. Or you can go to my website, which is phillyrealestatediva.com. Until next week, guys, be blessed. Love y'all.